Hello, everybody. We're in Rhinebeck. It's been a long trip to get here, but we're super excited.
Very excited.
And we're on the hill right now, the famous hill that everybody talks about. I think there's a dog jumping contest going on behind us. There are people all around, and we're ready to get our yarn on.
It's sweater weather.
It's sweater weather.
So, Kelly, you have on your sheep camp sweater.
My sheep camp, finished for Rhinebeck, and you're wearing your friend-to-friend cowl.
Friend to friend, and it's a perfect day for this because it's a little cool without an outer layer, but it's all worth it.
We're good to go.
We're good to go.
So let's take you inside.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a special episode of Knits and Pieces from
Rhinebeck.
So we are still we're actually in Kingston, which is just outside of Rhinebeck, and we have been to the festival. This is our last night before we fly home tomorrow, and we just want to go through and give you a little recap of what an amazing time we've had here.
Yes. We've been here since Thursday. Today is Sunday,
yes.
So it's been 4 days of yarn going,
yes.
And peopling. And I think this is my first time at Rhinebeck, and I definitely want to say that I've had just the best time.
Yes.
The weather has not been great, but that did not deter. People still came out, and I think my takeaways, aside from all of the beautiful yarn, was definitely the people.
That's right.
We had the best time saying hello to everybody,
yep.
And we have seen some amazing sweaters, and people have been very kind and welcoming, and the vendors have been lovely.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, it was just amazing to see some of the people that we have in our KnitChat cafe every week, and
yes.
to put a face to the name.
Yes.
And
thank you to everybody that came up and said
yes.
hi to us, and that we had time to have a little chat with. It was amazing to meet people in person.
Yes.
So before we go any further, we haven't even introduced ourselves. We are Knits and Pieces, and I am Noelle, and this is
Kelly.
And normally we come to you from southwestern Ontario, but for this episode, we are just on the tail end of our Rhinebeck adventure.
Yes, we're high on the yarn fumes right now, so we're just a little off our game.
Yeah. So
all right.
Okay. So we should go through and just give you a little recap of everywhere we've been and what we've done and what we've bought.
Yes. And we will be popping in, there will be some clips in here of some designers that we met, mm-hmm. and some interviews that we did. Also, we will show you some video of some of the things that we did over the weekend and some pictures. And we've also included some of the pictures of the lovely people that we had a chance to meet this week.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So I guess we start off with the first thing. We got here on Thursday. We flew from Detroit to Newark, and our first yarny stop was at Pick Up Every Stitch, which is in, I don't even remember. It starts with a K. I'll have to look that up and put it at the bottom.
Yes, we'll put that in here.
Kisco, something like that.
Okay.
But anyway.
We were a little tired.
We didn't drive to it. We had an amazing friend that picked us up and actually, was very kind to kind of navigate us through this Rhinebeck weekend.
Yes. So we've had the full tour, which has been lovely. If you're a first timer here, it can be daunting. And we did have to get up at 1:30 in the morning to head to the airport in Detroit. And so anyway, we stopped at the yarn store, and it is a lovely, lovely store. And I will definitely insert some pictures and things that we took there.
Yeah, it's run by Felicia and Karen. And at the time that we went, there was actually a pop-up shop from Moondrake. And so we had an amazing time squishing all the yarn. There was lots of people there that we met. We met the Knitting Posse. And I think Needles at the Ready were there.
Yes.
And who else was
Beth
there?
McDonald
Beth McDonald Stone. Yeah, that was amazing. And we actually, we kept seeing her at every event throughout the weekend. And it was amazing.
Yes.
She's such a wonderful person, wonderful designer. And we do have a little clip to show you of an interview that we did with Beth. But yeah, we had a great time at the shop, and of course, we did do a little bit of shopping there. Although you didn't get yours yet.
Mine is on its way.
Yeah,
I chose a color that was such a popular color that they were out of stock.
Yeah,
but maybe we can start talking about that. You can, because you're halfway through a project already.
Not halfway through, but Moondrake was releasing a new yarn base that I believe was only available so far at Pick Up Every Stitch. So mine's already wound. I have the ball band somewhere, but it is Moondrake's Cormos DK. So it's a 3-ply DK yarn. This color is called Red Velvet. We can pop in a picture. I can send you a picture of the ball band. But this color is called Red Velvet. They had samples done of the Friday Slipover by Petite Knit, and I think everybody in the store was buying it.
It's a beautiful pattern.
Beautiful pattern.
I bought the store sample color, which is carrot spice color. And so that's being shipped to me. So I don't have that to show you, but Noelle can show you.
So I started mine already. So I've already got the front done, the back done, so that it's all joined up under the arms. It's not all stretched out on my needles, but it does fit. And it's an amazing pattern. It's basically, when I did all those Friday tees, it's the same stitch pattern, but this is in a DK weight yarn, so it goes much faster, comes together really easily. The way the pattern is designed, the increases just fall nicely into place. And yeah, I'm really excited about having this done. Love this color. It's not pink.
It's not pink.
But I really like this color. And yeah, I'm excited about getting this finished and wearing it. And I'm anxious to see yours in the orange color.
Yes. And so, like I said, mine was the store sample color, but I think by that point I was honestly so fatigued that I was overwhelmed by how many people were there, because the store was completely
full. It was full.
And I couldn't think. I couldn't think. I was too tired and jet lagged at that point to really think. So the store sample was stunning. I loved the color. I tried it on.
Everybody was trying on the store
Everybody
sample.
was trying on the store sample.
And it was amazing because it looked
fit everybody.
It was everybody. It really did.
It was like the sisterhood of the traveling vest.
That's right.
It fit everybody.
It did. It was it was, and it was so nice because you've got other knitters around going, oh yeah, you should make that. It looks so good. So we'll all be coming back to Rhinebeck next year in our Friday slipovers.
Yes, absolutely.
And then I bought one other thing there. I've already got one skein of this that I had actually gotten in Toronto at the Knitting Loft, but I thought when the yarn came, I liked it so much. And while we were there and I saw it again, I picked up another skein of it, and I'm going to just do a little short sleeve top with it. So this is the Fua Fua, which is 70% brushed cashmere and 30% superwash merino. And this is the Sprouts color. And this yarn is just luscious. Like, it's just can't wait to make a top in this. They actually did have a little top made in this, and I think it was the Nightingale, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway,
I believe it was.
I think it was.
Yes.
Yep. Anyway, beautiful yarn, amazing, soft.
And she was lovely to meet.
She was very nice.
She greeted everyone with a hug, and she was just so effervescent and bubbly, and really, she's a fantastic spokesperson for her own yarn, for sure.
And
she is.
Beautiful colors.
Yes.
So, okay, so that was our first stop.
Okay.
So that was Thursday. So by the time we got to the hotel, we were pretty tired.
Knackered, to say the least.
Tired. Yeah, very tired. After being up for so long, but we knit a little bit, and
yeah, we did.
Yep.
Unpacked and knit a bit.
And we're staying in a Residence Inn, so we've got our own little kitchen, and it's kind of a little bit more room than just a regular hotel room. So it's not a house with everybody, but it's still nice to just kind of have a little bit extra space. And so
before we move on, maybe we should talk too about what we're wearing.
Okay. So, what are you wearing?
I am wearing the Sheep Camp sweater by Jennifer. Now I had to suggest it, and now I can't.
Is it the Nordic knitter?
No, she's the native knitter.
Oh, the native knitter. Okay.
Jennifer Berg.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was sort of rushing to get this done before Rhinebeck because I knew that I wanted to wear this sweater. So I will say that I wore this sweater, and so did probably about 500 other people that I saw this weekend. This was a very popular knit, and every single one of them that I saw, I absolutely loved. It's a beautiful
someone
sweater.
Did tell us that there was a bus trip that came from a knitting store, and actually their sweater for Rhinebeck was the
Sheep Camp.
The Sheep Camp pullover. So
yes. Yeah. So, and I knit this in gifted yarn from Noelle from New Zealand. And then the top is spin cycle yarn, and it is called After Midnight, which is the color that is specifically dyed for the Knitting Loft in Toronto that was gifted to us. So the entire sweater is a gift, and I wore it proudly today. And it's a beautiful sweater to wear. It's a beautiful sweater to knit. I had so much fun knitting this yoke. And interestingly enough, when we were at the festival today, we were taking a load of goodies to the car. And who did we meet coming in but Alana from New Zealand,
yes, we did.
Which is where the yarn is from.
Yeah, we met Alana. She is the owner of Lupine in Auckland, New Zealand. And I had met her when I'd been over in New Zealand on my vacation. And she had on her Calypso sweater, which I have made. And I didn't have mine on. I was going to wear it today, but it was a little cool today, so I needed a few more layers. But anyway, it was very nice to meet her and catch up with her, and we got a picture with her. And yeah, it's so amazing to see. We're not that far away from home this time, but now she's all the way over here from New Zealand, and that's just like the everybody comes from everywhere to go to Rhinebeck. So.
And you're wearing?
I am wearing my Friend to Friend Shrug by Leslie Friend, and it's done in the Lion Brand Hue Plus Me, and the colors are Peacoat, Arrowwood, and Cement. And and it was perfect for today because it was cool, the wind was cool, and then underneath it, I have my Wilfreda, which is knit in care by the Knitting Loft. So other than the fact that when we were in absolute direct wind, it kept me warm and cozy, but yet it wasn't too constricting like when you were in the building, so you didn't get too hot. So it was perfect for today.
Yeah. So it was. Today was the perfect day. I think it was only about 10 degrees Celsius, but I definitely didn't feel overly warm in any of the buildings. And because you're on the fairgrounds, I mean, you're fairly sheltered anyway.
Yes.
The walk from the car maybe into the fair was a little cool because we were in the open. But other than that, it was a perfect fair day. Today was exactly in my mind. If you had asked me what I expected Rhinebeck to be, today is exactly how I would have answered you. So we had a great day today. Great day.
Yep. Okay. And on your head?
Oh, on my head. I so rarely wear hats that I completely forgot I was wearing something else. And this is yarn that I bought last weekend at Woolstock in Paris, Ontario.
Yeah, not the real Paris.
Not the real Paris, the fake Paris, as your granddaughter would say. And this I bought at
Unwind Knit Shop.
Yes, Unwind Knit Shop. And it came in a kit. It was a great price. I still have left almost half of each skein, so I could probably reverse the hat
You'll have to wait
and do it again. But this was using the BC Garn Simila Mélange is the gold color. Now I held mohair just for the outside part of my brim. This is the Guthrie hat. I should have said that, by Caitlin Hunter. And the original pattern does not call for a folded up brim, but if you have watched previous episodes of KnitChat, you'll know that I don't think that's the most flattering hat style for me. I like to have a little more width to my long and narrow head. So I knit an extra amount of the brim to fold up, and I held mohair just to get it a little bit extra fluff. And then the color work is the Schopel Edition 3, and I don't know the name of the color, but I thought it doesn't look that bad. And today I had on pretty much the same color fingerless gloves as well. So it kind of all worked.
Yeah.
And I like the hat so much, and that I haven't even noticed that I've had it on. There's not even the tiniest bit of itch that has happened on my forehead, as sometimes I find happens. But there was no way I could take the hat off after I've had it on all day today. That hair look would not be good. So anyway, so we're going to go roll with it, even though I'm wearing a toque in a hotel room.
Oh,
yeah.
well.
We're Canadian, eh?
That's right. That's right. So
okay.
So on to Friday. Okay, so Friday we had tickets for a couple of festivals that are going on sort of on the outskirts of Rhinebeck, and the first one was Cape Palooza. So we had tickets for the 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock segment. When we got up, it was
raining hard.
It was raining hard. But, we got up, we got ready, and we had our raincoats, we had our umbrellas, and we drove to the venue, and we had to line up for a while, not too long, really.
Not too long.
So we lined up and we got in, and it was very nice. Like, unfortunately, it was raining, so it was kind of, everybody's kind of trying to duck into some of the stalls, and some booths were busier than others, but for all in all, like, we actually got to get into the booths that we wanted to see and ended up buying what we wanted. So it was nice. It's not a huge festival, but there was quite a few different vendors, and we managed to spend enough money.
Well, considering the size of Rhinebeck, we could call this the little amuse-bouche. This was just a little tasting of yarn, a little warm-up just to get us started.
Yep.
And for that matter, we still did just fine there.
Yeah. We're going to the car. Okay, so head to the car. Okay. I think first we started at Tuft Woolens, and both of us bought things at Tuft Woolens. And I knew that before I went that I wanted to get some Tuft Woolens soap. So I ended up getting
some soap.
Okay, so I ended up getting 3 bars of the sock soap. So the first one is Plum and Amber. They all smell like amazing. And then I got a chai spice.
I have lavender.
Oh, you have lavender.
And then I got chai spice.
Oh, did you? And then I got a 55th and 57th. And they all smell amazing.
They do.
And you got one of the sock soaps.
I did. Bath soaps.
Okay, bath soap.
So my husband loves the the small crafted soaps. And so I got him the chai spice in a soap for him. So you see, I shop. I was mindfully gifting.
Sorry,
too.
Ross, I got you nothing.
I also got some of the Tuft lanolin hand and body balm. And they had their signature scent for this weekend is, of course, cider donut. If you've been to Rhinebeck, you know about the cider donuts there, and that's what this smells like.
Yeah, and I got chai spice in the hand cream, and it smells.
We love our hand balms. We keep these in all of our knitting bags. There's a few companies that make these. This is the first time I've had the Tuft.
Well, it's the first time we've had the Tuft in the tin. We've had the Tuft in the little roll-on thing.
Yeah.
But the tins are just so easy to stick in your.
Yes.
I mean, so are the little roll-ons, but I don't know why I like the tins.
I don't find
that
the tins. Personally, I don't find the roll-on to be as user-friendly as the tin. I like to just like get my finger in there and
it smells so good.
You know, it does. It smells great.
So that was our first stop. That was the first thing that we got at Cape Palooza.
Yes.
And then I think the next place that I stopped that I actually got something was at the Yarn Bird truck.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So, and we had gone to the Yarn Bird truck when we were at Vogue Knitting Live in Columbus.
Yes. And I got some sweater quantities there, which I actually have knit and worn. So both times, because I bought my Love Note sweater yarn there. And then I also bought my Tidal Fade shawl there. And I've finished and completed both projects.
Okay.
So I feel pretty good about that.
Okay, so the yarn that I got there, I had not seen this yarn before, but this is a base by Dream in Color, and this base is their Lamb and Goat. It's a fingering weight yarn. It's 90% New Zealand wool and 10% cashmere. 50 grams is 190 yards. So they had a sample done of the Annabelle crop, and I'll send you the designer. Mm-hmm. Really cute. Love the colors that it was done in. So I got enough to do that sweater. So this will be my base color. No, this will be my base color.
Yes.
This will be my base color, and then those are my two contrast colors. So
it's really beautiful.
And it's a little crop short sleeve top, but this yarn, just like the drape in it, it just feels amazing. The top that they had done in the sample just looked.
It's so soft.
It is.
I wanted one. I definitely wanted a sweater quantity of it. They had another sample there that I really liked, that I don't remember the name of, but I do have it all marked down, so maybe I'll drop a slide in here at this point. And they just did, you know, sometimes when you see something already made up, that's what had stuck in my head. And it was a lovely shade of this sort of, kind of like a muddy khaki taupe, which maybe it doesn't sound very nice.
Well, it was close to this, but it was lighter.
Close, yes.
It was a lighter version of this color. And this color, did they have color names? This color is called Forest, but it's not really that. I guess it is green, but that's called Forest. This one was called Morel, and this one was Barbary. So, but I think the one that you're talking about, they actually had it in both of the samples. And I think a lot of times when they've got a sample knit up, the colors that are in the samples are the first colors to sell out.
So I am able to get some online though, so that may be a future purchase too. I also got something in the Yarn Birds truck. I got, this was a new to me yarn. We were really looking, I think this time, for yarns that are not available to us.
Not readily available to us or from where we are.
Or that we've heard about and that we really wanted to try. And so this is something else. I know you've actually knit with this one.
But I got it at Rhinebeck. Like years ago.
Oh, years ago. Okay. So this is Feederbrook Farm. And this is their Entropy DK. There's 260 yards in here. This colorway is Symbiosis. And there's a very good price point. So it's a generous yarn at 260 yards. 260 yards will get you pretty much the yoke in any sweater that, in my opinion, that I wanted to work on. So I went way outside of my color comfort zone, and I got these sort of bright pinks, bright fuchsias, bright purples. There's a soft gray in there as well, but there's a lot of color, but I think it will be really beautiful in a neutral colored sweater. And I'm anxious to try this. It's really, really soft. It's lovely yarn, lovely. So.
Okay. Oh, and we both got something at the next booth.
Okay, so we did get a lot of the same items this weekend, and it wasn't by choice. It was just, you know, we would eyeball something, and it was basically who could get to it first, but the other one was coming out with it anyway. So yes, there are some double ups here along the way, but I could talk about this one first before we get to that.
That one.
So this was actually at the Cake Wool Co. booth, and this is called chili pepper. That's my second chili pepper that I bought this weekend as well. So this is the salt base, and the colorway is chili pepper, and it's 100% British blue-faced luster wool. So there's 181 yards in here. And after I'd had such success with this hat, I thought, you know what, maybe I really can wear a hat. So I thought I will give it another try. And I love this color. There's some beautiful oranges in there, and like almost a deep, deep green, a tealy green. And I thought this would look really nice as a hat. This is probably the kind of hat that I envision fat cables. Yeah. And it's that kind of yarn. It's so soft, and probably a big pom-pom on the back of it.
Yep.
So then at the same booth,
we were sharing a booth,
were the most adorable bags.
Yeah.
And I had to get a bag to put this yarn in.
So the bags are by Button Jar. So
they're adorable.
They are adorable. They look like a sheep. So mine is kind of more like a wintry theme, like it's got like kind of wintry flowers and berries up at the top. And yours is more of a fall theme.
More of a fall, yeah. There's little acorns and birds, but I think it will perfectly house this yarn. And they're sheepy cozy. They have beautiful leather handles that swivel up, so you can dip this in there. You can carry your little bag,
or have it over your wrist
if you want to knit with it as you go.
It's got the drawstring at the top, so you can pull it in, or you can open that up and tuck it down just to have a bucket like that.
I think it's adorable.
It is, and it's got I was just looking, like it's got a nice strong lining on the inside too.
Yes, it does.
So the bag has a lot of, like, it doesn't just flop over, like it's got a lot of
stability,
structure to it, so that it can just be sitting beside you with your yarn in it. So it's perfect sock bag.
And I think it's really reminiscent of Rhinebeck. It's very sheepy.
Yeah, it's very sheepy.
So, we really like it. Yeah. So yes, the same bags.
Yeah. So we both got one of those. Okay, so that was Cake Palooza.
Yes.
So after Cake Palooza, it was raining really hard after Cake Palooza.
Okay.
After we came out of Cake Palooza, I needed a coffee. So we just picked up coffee and tea and hot chocolate and kind of had a little regroup.
A little reset.
A little regroup, little reset, and then we drove to Wool & Folk. Okay.
It was raining pretty hard by Wool & Folk.
It was raining pretty hard.
And from what we know about Wool & Folk, there was a recent venue change with the organizers deciding to move it inside. The original location, now, we've not been to the original location, which I understand was a winery that it was at.
The very original location that they did it was actually at a Brickworks or something that had ample amount of outside space, and that's where they had it, I think, for the first couple of years. And then this year it was supposed to be at a vineyard, but something happened in the last little while before it.
I think it was supposed to be at an orchard this year.
An orchard,
the organizers decided that there wasn't sufficient coverage for vendors and attendees should the weather be inclement. So
which it was.
Which it definitely was. So they recently sourced it was a very cool venue, actually, but it was very space constricted. So
yes, it was.
There wasn't the outside space to sit at, or covered spaces to sit. And it was very wet. It got very muddy. It was crowded.
It was very crowded.
It was very crowded.
It was intense. It was
very intense.
It was very difficult to get into a lot of the booths.
Yeah.
It was difficult to get out of the booth once you got into the booth. So, you certainly weren't making any decisions in there as far as what was going to go with what, or you kind of needed to know what you were going to buy and get in there and get it and get out. So,
and the weather is the weather. I mean, there's no point in complaining about the weather. That was absolutely no fault of the organizers. And this was their first year at this venue. And I just think we made the best out of it.
We made the best out of the situation. It definitely it definitely needed to be a lot less crowded.
Yes.
I don't know what they needed to do to accommodate that, but it was just not a big enough space for the amount of people and the amount of vendors that were in there.
Yes. And we've talked, although we've not been prior years, we've talked to many people that had such an amazing experience there that we were really looking forward to it. And I do just feel badly that we weren't able to get around to all of the vendors that we wanted to. We still somehow managed to see lots of people in there that we were looking to see. And we met lots of lovely people as well. And everybody was doing the same thing, making the best of a rainy day and trying to do what they were really there to do, which was to see the yarn, see the goodies. So again, we had very specific places that we were kind of looking for, that we wanted to see the vendors on, things that are not available to us in Canada or not easily available, certainly not in-person shopping.
Right.
So these stores that we talk about, they're certainly available to us online.
Right.
It's just that
it's nice to see the yarn and
nice
squish
see
the yarn.
See the yarn, yes.
Yep.
And to meet the dyers too, because
yes.
it gives you that personal experience behind the yarn. And so we wanted to do that.
Yeah, and again, a lot of the things that we purchased the yarn for were things that we saw samples made up in. Yes. So that makes a huge difference when you see something made up. And even the one sweater that I bought the yarn for, I was able to try the sweater on. So that's
right.
You cannot do that if you're shopping online.
No.
So,
and it's hard to see online. I mean, it doesn't matter how good the pictures are. It's still a matter of getting them out into like the light, not your monitor. So there are some drawbacks to online shopping, but we still had a good day.
Yep.
So we'll show you what we got there.
So I think the first place that we bought anything at was the Llama Kid.
Well, it was actually socks, but go ahead. Let's talk about Llama Kid.
Oh, you did. You got socks first.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't. The Woolens of Nosh was after.
Yes.
Okay, but you got socks.
So I got these, and I think I'm going to just pop them out of here because they're so beautiful. So this is these socks are being sold in the 316 Dye Studio, and they're called Knit and Bloom Homegrown Color. So it's been a while since I've bought socks that were already made. I have to say that, but these were so stunning and so beautiful, and something different to take away. So these are beautiful, very soft bamboo. I know they're bamboo. Yeah, they're 94% bamboo, a little bit of spandex sock, and they are all naturally dyed. And I don't know how well this will pick up if we're both on camera because our faces can't cover our faces up. I don't know how well it can zoom in, but these they go through a process, and they had a little video in the booth of how this is done. And they actually take botanical flowers, they lay them down on the socks, and then they're press steamed.
Okay.
So the dye transfers from the flower into the socks, and they are unbelievably soft. Mm-hmm. And I thought that these would look really beautiful with my clogs. I feel like they're like that 60s flower child. And I've been looking at doing some dyeing like this myself, using a hammering method with the blooms, but these were just so beautiful, and I thought I would give them a try. So I bought those first.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So the next booth
then we went to Llama Kid,
and it was
crazy in there. Oh my gosh. But they were amazing. They were doing such a good job of helping people along the way. And, you could hear people yelling out, I need a blue, I need a pink. And they were doing really a great job with their customer service. And they are on top of those colors. They know what to suggest. They have a lot of samples in the booth, which is really helpful. If you're, you see the yarn, you want to do something with it, but you're not exactly sure what to do. Well, they had lots there that could inspire you. And this was a yarn that we were both looking for, and it is their big birdie base. So you can go ahead.
Okay, so I got the yarn to do the fancy sweater, which is a design by the Llama Kid, and I got it in exactly the colors that they had
as the sample.
So the actual original version of the sweater is a solid color with just maybe a little tiny peak of color at the neck. But the one that was in the booth was this is Pop Rocks. So it was Pop Rocks, and then it had, what color is this one? This is Peanut. It had the peanut just put in as stripes throughout of it, and it was stunning. I tried it on, and I honestly, I could have bought the sample. It was beautiful. So that is what I'm going to do. So I ended up with 3 skeins of the Pop Rocks and 1 skein of the Peanut. It's kind of a boxy sweater at a very loose gauge, so it should not take very long to knit up, but I think that'll be a perfect sweater to wear this winter.
Did you talk about the content of the...
Oh, the Big Birdie is an Aran weight yarn. It is 70% alpaca, 21% silk. Oh, no, sorry, 79% alpaca and 21% silk. It's hand washed, lay flat to dry, and
soft like a cloud.
Amazing. Yeah, it's very nice.
I was going to say butter, but somebody in the room doesn't like that. So it's soft like a cloud. Probably a cloud doesn't feel like this either, but it's what you would imagine a cloud could feel like.
And they had absolutely gorgeous colors.
Stunning colors. So the colors I got are coastal gray, which is really much more, I think, of a navy or a dark blue. And then the color Sting, this beautiful goldenrod yellow, which is very close, I hope, to the color of my winter coat. So I've already cast this on. I don't have enough of it really to show, but I'm sure that by our next podcast, it may be finished, or because it's such a fast knit. You knit this on 6.5 millimeter or a 10.5 US needle, and it just feels amazing.
I know, the yarn just feels amazing when you wrap it around.
Yes, it's just soft as anything. So, okay. And then I think, did I get these next? This is something else that's been on my radar for a while, and I wanted to see it in person. Bertie Parker Designs, which is fiber arts inspired jewelry for yarn lovers. Christy Jensen is the owner, designer, and she makes absolutely beautiful jewelry. But again, it's something that I wanted to see in person. So I did buy earrings, and they're they're silver with a little bit of black, and they look like knitting stitches. And again, I'm not sure if the camera will focus on this behind our faces, but I might have to do it like this. They're beautiful, lightweight, very beautifully finished, and I'm pretty excited to have a pair finally.
Yeah. I just at that point,
I was
peopled out. I was like, it was just so crowded in so many of the booths and hot in there when you got inside a booth that I just thought, I have to step aside for a few minutes. So,
okay. But then we did circle back in because one of the other vendors that we really wanted to visit was Woolens and Nosh.
Yep.
And did not disappoint there either.
No. So I actually ended up getting the colorway, which was the show colorway, which is called Happy Camper. I don't know how many stripes are in here, but she had samples made up of all of her colors, and they were all gorgeous, but this just was in the show colorway, just had me. So her base is it's a superwash targhee fingering, so it's 90% superwash targhee and 10% nylon. It's a 3-ply, 411 yards, and she had the whole sock done with this. Looked like an afterthought heel because you kind of got the bullseye effect in the heel, and that's what I'm going to do with it. Just fell in love with that color. So,
and I bought a couple of skeins. This one I really liked, knit up as well. This one, it's not a pre-measured, all of the stripes are not the same. There are some wider stripes and some narrow stripes, and this one is called Half Past Nude, and it has some beautiful colors, these like sort of taupey beiges, a beautiful toasty brown, peach, and a really neutral cream color. It's just a beautiful, beautiful colorway. And then there's this one, which I really like too, which is called Pressed Flowers. It was on a flower theme. And this has a mini kit with it as well. So it's actually a sock kit. And it has this, again, this lovely neutral base and like a peach, a lavender, and a darker purple. Really, really pretty. And being the targhee, we know the socks wear incredibly well.
So I know I'd always wanted to try this, and she was just wonderful. And the booth was busy, but it seemed like everything was running smoothly in it. And it was nice that she had all the samples made of the socks, so you could see the colorways knit up.
She had a couple of people in the booth helping her out too. Denise was there, Earth Tones girl. Everybody knows who she is. She was she had a specific colorway.
Oh, did she? Okay.
Her Earth Tones girl colorway, and also that I saw in there was Caleb from the Bearded Pearl.
Bearded Pearl. Yep.
And he was there. So yeah, it was really really nice to see some other people there as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So then after Woolen Folk, we ended up going to that Italian restaurant for dinner.
Italian dinner.
It was amazing. It was delicious. We kind of went for like an early dinner so we could come back and knit and relax.
In our PJs.
In our PJs, that's right. And
drink tea. And wine.
And get ready for the next day.
Yes, the onslaught that is Rhinebeck.
Yes. Yeah. So. Okay. So that takes us to the opening of Rhinebeck. So we didn't rush there because, again, it was raining. So when we got up, we decided we weren't going to go stand and wait in line in the rain. And as it turned out, when we got there, apparently I've only been once and didn't get there right at the beginning, but apparently there was a whole lot less people there than what there normally is because of the weather, because people don't want to go and stand in line in the rain, which meant it was nice because it was a little less crowded, and we had no trouble getting into. We did actually a lot of the back barns that day.
Yes.
So, but had a wonderful time going through some of the agricultural barns with the sheep and the llama, and yeah, it was nice. It was a good day. It was the only thing that kind of put a damper on it was the rain, which meant that there wasn't really the outdoor spaces to go and sit and knit outside and just kind of.
But the rain was periodic. So you might go an hour without rain, and then there'd be a little rain. So the buildings got very busy when it was raining.
Yes.
Everybody was trying to get inside. We had a lot of fun though. We went through the animal barns.
Yes, we did. Yep.
And that to me felt really like the county fair that I'm used to going to growing up. And actually, just like the county fair, just finished at the Brigden Fair. But it was really nice. We saw sheep, we saw goats, we saw
sheep being sheared.
We saw sheep being sheared, yes. So I'll probably put a clip in of that. We saw the llamas. We saw one particularly handsome llama. I believe his name was Hank. And he
was regal. He knew it. He was like...
he was pruning himself. He would turn around, he'd bat those long eyelashes at you, and then he'd kind of lean back and he'd sort of pucker up. So you weren't sure if he was going to spit at you.
Yeah, I moved out of the way. I was not going to take any chances.
I think he was just smiling, and he was definitely appreciating all of the attention. Definitely. He really liked having the people around him.
Yeah.
And she's currently deputy mayor of Virginia. So she's got a lot going on. Which town? North Dundas. Do we have North Dundas representation tonight? It is Southern Ontario. Nearby.
What's this breed? Lincoln?
To go through the barns and talk to some of the animal owners. It was very nice how they stayed with their animals, and they were all very willing to talk to you and explain anything you wanted to know about the breed. And some of the sheep were just they were pretty. They are the ones that had all the curls.
And it's such a difference between like some of them are massive. They really are. They're massive, and then some are little petite.
And then there was two poor sad sheep, the big brown ones that had just been sheared, and they were just in their pen laying down, looking cold and shamed. Wishing they had their coats back, I guess, right?
But anyway, so that day, earlier on in the day, and we had talked to Beth Stone previously, and she had graciously agreed to do a little interview with us. So maybe we'll pop that in here. But it was funny because that whole weekend, wherever we went, we always saw Beth. Like we always saw Beth. And yet there was other people that we thought, oh, well, where are they? Where are they? And we never saw them the whole weekend. So, with the fair being as big as it is, and the times that you can come and go, honestly, we ran into Beth every single day.
Yes.
So,
and it was great fun to meet Beth because, you've knit several now of her sweaters.
Yes. Yeah.
And Beth is somebody that we've been in contact with for probably over a year now.
Yeah.
Back and forth on Instagram. Beth lives in Bermuda.
Yes.
And has just recently started her own podcast,
which is amazing. You should check it out if you haven't.
And we'll put the description here. So maybe let's just get to the interview.
Yes.
Here's Beth.
First day, and there's a little inclement, but that's not down.
Oh, it's not going to slow us down, I don't think.
So we're here with Beth Stone. And Beth, I just have a few questions for you.
Good, okay.
So you have come out with so many amazing designs.
Thank you.
In the last couple of years, at least that I'm aware of. But how long have you been designing?
I think a couple of years. Okay. Sorry, I really don't know. But because it's a continuation of my career as an interior designer, and so I actually picked up knitting when my son was small, and I had to kind of keep myself awake when those downtimes rather than crashing out. And then of course you start to tinker and you start to change things, and the next thing you know you've got an idea and you start to design. So I don't really know when it started. I mean, I could look at my first pattern, but I can't even remember. It must have been 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, because I think I've been knitting for a couple of years.
I know, I love it. Yeah, you've been a great advocate and a great
your patterns are super.
but also you're such a good person with numbers, and I know I tell you all the time, and I'm saying it on camera because everyone needs to know how great Noelle is a testament because she can spot a mathematical error a mile away.
Math is, I love math.
I do too.
But anyway, it's a pleasure to knit your designs. I've hardly ever found a problem with them, and sometimes it's just a little bit in wording and how one person understands something in another.
Yes.
The whole purpose of having test learning. Right?
Exactly.
So what's the sweater that you're wearing today?
So right now I'm wearing the Santi sweater, which is published, except I added a cable, and I'm thinking I might do an addendum to the pattern. So it might just come on after because it's literally just the exact same. It's just throw this in. So that's really great. And it's really interesting. So I wear my crossbody bag, but it's on the side. So I'm thinking I should actually put it on this side. So I'm gonna have to do it again.
But sometimes you don't know that until you wear the design.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So, hey, twist my arm, I'll knit it again. No problem.
Yeah.
But that's the great thing. So if I just did it as addendum, that you can literally place it. You could place it. It's just a suggestion of the size of the cable, and you could place it wherever you wanted.
And the yarn's gorgeous.
Thank you.
And it looks like a gauge that would knit up relatively quickly.
It's great. It's I think it's 19 stitches or 18. Okay. I'm not, I don't remember those things very well, but yeah, it's very. If I remember, it's on a US 9 or 8 needle, so it's very. It is fast, but I also wanted to say a lot of these yarns that you do have the bigger gauges. With the fluff or with boucle or whatever, every stitch has to be a lot more intentional.
Careful, I know.
So it's not. So to be honest, this is a weight that I'm actually more comfortable with, and I can just whip through because it's just very fluid, and it's the Shetland yarn, and you can just keep going.
I know. We're holding a couple of strands. I have to hold it up every once in a while and see where light comes through to see if I dropped a strand
or the boucle, like you have not gone through a loop,
the loop
and not a knitted loop. Yeah. So so faster, but different.
Yeah. Different. And this one.
Oh, I love that's the Somerset sweater.
Somerset, yes.
And I love that one.
I do, and it's so light and so easy because this is a fingering weight. It rolls up.
Yeah, it's perfect for travel. Yeah,
and you can customize it so much by whatever colors you put.
They all look so different. They all look so different. Yeah. And Somerset is an end of the island, and it's just very gardeny, and it has flowers, and I lived in Somerset for a long time. I think it smells better. So to have like a floral yoke, that's just not overly floral, but just to me that's Somerset, and just beautiful, pretty.
Well, I like how all your patterns kind of relate to a place in Bermuda.
Yeah. So, I'm super inspired by the island.
Well, there's lots of inspiration there.
Yeah,
and we want everybody to know that Beth started a podcast too.
Oh, okay.
And I've watched your first couple of episodes, and they're amazing, and we need you to continue doing them.
My intention is to keep doing them. They do, I wish I had someone to talk to, so I'll just pretend I'm talking to you guys.
You are talking.
What's the time difference? We can bring you on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, that'd be so. It's just an hour.
Okay.
So I'm an hour.
Let's make that happen.
Yeah. At the beginning, because then I'm like,
That's okay.
I'm in bed by 8:30.
Hey, see there. I'm my knit buddy. I would probably get up early.
I used to. But now I'm retired. I'm like,
Well, I still get up early, but
I
I
know
go to
you're
bed
so
early.
good. You're more structured. I'll be back to structured. I'm just kind of rocking it for the first few months. Yeah, no, I'd love to.
Yeah, that would be great.
It'd be really fun. Well, I watch it every week.
Thank you for taking the time
Oh,
to do this
thanks for-
interview with us, and I hope you have
Anytime.
an amazing.
Anytime you guys want to chat.
Yeah, and when you're in Toronto, let us know.
I will, definitely. We can get into some trouble there.
Oh, yeah, we could. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. So I guess we should maybe look at did we buy anything that day?
We did. We did.
Not a lot. Like, honestly, for the actual Rhinebeck, we did not really go overboard.
No, but it felt like we did. And I think it's tonight when we were getting ready to do this, I kept thinking, I must be missing yarn. I must be, because I feel like I bought so
I
much
know,
more.
because you see so many
But I
things that it's
think-
like, I might go back.
I might go
get
back.
that.
And we were trying to restrain ourselves. And I still think I probably bought a solid 6 months worth of knitting.
Oh, yeah,
So
for sure.
if I can get even half of it knit before we go back to Rhinebeck next year,
Yes.
I'll be happy.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So the first place that I bought anything was at the Junction Fiber Mills booth.
Yes.
So there was quite a lot of people that were wearing, no, I'm not going to get this right. I know it has the name Torkel in it, but I will send it to you. You can put it down below.
I thought that was the name, just Torkel.
It's not just Torkel. It's got something else after it.
Okay.
Anyway, it's done in the Junction Mills Making Tracks yarn. So I've got this little bag that says Vermont Vice Junction Mill Fiber Mill, and it's pink. So,
Had to have that.
and we got yarn to do the Torkel with the name down at the bottom here. So the yarns that I picked out, my base yarn is going to be this Farm Fresh from Savage Heart Farm. It's a 100% Corriedale wool from Vermont. So, and the two people that own the Junction Fiber Mills are Peggy and Amanda, and they were absolutely lovely. Just lovely. And, we had a good chat with them, and I've seen they do have a podcast too. So again, I'll link all these down below, but check it out. I mean, honestly, I would go to Vermont just to go and see them.
Yes.
So, and go to their mill. So this color, I don't know if they have color names on here or not.
Yes.
They do on this, but I don't know if they have on this
On
one.
the solids?
On the solid. But anyway, this is like a really deep, dark purple. And then this is the Making Tracks yarn, which is kind of like a marled yarn. And the color that I chose was called Valley Fog. And it just looks really nice with this. It's got like kind of pale tonals, aqua, pink, and it looks really good with this dark purple. So that is mine.
We were also trying to challenge ourselves a little bit this time to step out of our wheelhouse with colors.
Yeah.
Just to be a little uncomfortable with some color choices or be bolder.
Or
just to do something different.
Put some variety into our wardrobe.
So the two colors I got, I mean, one is not a surprise. It's like a spicy orange. And I guess you're right. There's not a color name on here. And then the Making Tracks one that I got, though, is called January Nights. So it's this sort of orange and purple combination. And
it looks kind of sunsetty.
It does. But that purple is really vibrant. So yeah, sort of like those really like hot pink sunsets that you get where the sky just kind of comes alive. And I think this will be really pretty. And it's very soft, as you said, and it's super plush. And
well, I've been Making Tracks. I know that this was Corriedale. Is your solid one Corriedale?
It is. This one is 100% Montedale and Cheviot wool. Okay. So it's grown and spun in Vermont, and it's so squishy.
Yep.
So
yeah.
squishy.
Yeah, gorgeous yarn. So
I'm really looking forward to this project.
Yeah. I know it says Junction Fiber Mill is a small batch wool processing mill in the heart of, I don't know what WRJ is, but somewhere in Vermont.
White River Junction.
Oh, White River Junction. Started by two sheep farmers, friends, Amanda and Peggy. So, yeah, and a woman-owned business.
Yeah, it's a woman-owned business. Nice. Yeah, and they are a delight. Absolute delight.
Okay, and then the only other thing that I got that day at Rhinebeck is we were kind of walking along. And I mean, there's so many things, and we knew we'd already bought stuff. I really was trying to be mindful of what I was buying.
We have to get this home, friends. That's the problem.
That's right. So I walked by this one booth, and they had this fiber there, and it called to her. I just could not resist. So And you know what? I don't even have the tag. I don't even know what kind of fiber it is. I can't remember. I thought I did know. I thought it was maybe Corriedale, but I'm not positive. But anyway, the color is just beautiful. And what really drew me to it is they had a braid of this spun up, and you could see what it looked like spun up. So you could see how the colors would barber pull together and how it looked. And I thought, yeah, it looked stunning, because it's sometimes hard to tell when you just look at a braid what it's really going to look like once you spin it up and then ply it. So it was really nice to have those samples there to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So very happy with that. And I think it's going to make a beautiful yoke in a sweater. So
I think so.
Yeah.
And did you not get something here too? Okay, so I guess I was the only one.
Nope.
There was another stand in there. It's called Turtle Creek Farm. And this is 100% Coopworth wool. It's so plush and squishy. And again, I was thinking hat, big cabled hat. I'm all about the hats now. And you said, Kelly, how many hats are you going to make? And I said, well, considering my whole life,
apparently one for every day of the week or month.
Well, considering how many sweaters do you own? Maybe I want a hat for every
Well,
sweater.
I think I wear sweaters more than I wear hats.
Well, this might be my year of hats. I never wore these hats. So anyway, I'm super happy about this. This is so squishy. And again, the ladies there were lovely.
Yeah, they
and
were.
They were also selling okay, so there's a thing here at Rhinebeck. Well, okay, I'll show you this first. This is just a cat ball.
Yes.
With some catnip in it and a little bell.
Felt it around it.
So I thought if my husband was getting soap, then Roxy needed a little bit of a toy too. But anyway, so the other thing that they were selling, and there's this thing at Rhinebeck, is the headbands with sheep ears, and there's curly locks on them, and they were selling these headbands. I did ask her what the meaning was, because I thought, is it like some secret society, or, what kind of a message are you sending if you wear sheep ears and curly locks? But anyway, no, she said it's just for fun for Rhinebeck. But there were a lot. We saw a lot. And everybody had their locks styled differently and whatnot. So I did take one silly picture of me wearing one. I'll insert that here. But it was fun.
Yeah.
So I didn't buy one.
No.
I did not buy one. Maybe next year.
I was not going to walk around with you if you had.
But you have curly locks.
No,
so I really think
no.
you can make me one for next year.
I know. I might, but I have to be in the right mood. I have to be in the right mood. And there were lots of people walking around wearing them, and they looked
Would
like
a glass of Prosecco before Rhinebeck
that
put
would
you in
probably
the right
make me
mood?
wear one. So, and that's the joy of Rhinebeck. Like, anybody can wear whatever they want, because we also saw a lot of cowboy hats.
We did? Yes.
And it was just so nice to see everybody just kind of feel free and be themselves and wear what they felt comfortable in.
Absolutely. And there were some definitely photo-worthy people there in some gorgeous outfits, the sweaters. So that afternoon, the weather did clear up, and we went up to Podcasters Hill. Mm-hmm. We didn't know if we should be up there or not, but we went, and it was a great experience.
Yeah, we met some wonderful people, and it was fun. It was nice that the weather held off a bit for that. And
yes.
We kind of took a little peruse along the row of people that were standing waiting in line for the Andrea Mowry picture with the tessellated vest and tessellated sweater. It was amazing how many people had knit that.
The line was so long.
Yeah.
And there were not two sweaters in that line I felt that were the same.
Nope.
And
they all looked amazing.
They all looked amazing.
They all did.
And we both talked about this before. When the sweater pattern came out, it was not exactly a pattern that spoke to us.
Yep.
But now that I've seen it,
yep,
it's talking to me now.
Yep.
I really, really liked it.
specifically met a wonderful couple of our viewers that were there with their granddaughters.
Yes.
And their granddaughters were just adorable, and just they
Dressed
were
up
waiting in
in-
line, dressed up in their hand knits. And
Yes. Yes.
So
we were happy. Our friend Jenny had made some homemade cookies to hand out at Rhinebeck, so we were able to give cookies to the girls. And this is probably a good time to talk about the cards.
The cards, okay. So when we went, we kind of, where did I put them?
They're right there. Can you reach them?
Yeah, we kind of wanted to have a little something that was specific to our podcast that we could give away. But it was hard because like we'd sometimes remember to do it and sometimes not remember to do it. And, you know, we need to get better at that because, you know, like we're going and we're just knitters. I actually honestly didn't really expect that anybody would really recognize us. So it was very nice of all the people that came up and said hi to us.
Yes.
And so we had these little cards made up, and my daughter Jacqueline did the graphics for them and got them printed for us, but I'll let Kelly hold them up here. So they're just a little take on some knitting sweaters and just a little saying, and these cards would be specific to knitters. Nobody else would get them. Nobody else would understand the meaning behind them except a knitter. So we took a couple of different sweaters or patterns that are popular designs and just made them into a little card. Okay, so the first one here is have a great weekender. So we know a lot of us have weekender sweaters. So it's just a little blank note card that you can send to one of your knitting friends with a little note in there. And
then we also have, and Noelle came up with these things, so I think she's really super clever too. We have Miserina Loves Company.
Because we know once you knit one Miserina, that's not your last. You're always going to knit more.
Sending you a little love note.
And we have love notes.
We have love notes. And then just a couple of hipsters.
Yeah, we're just a couple of hipsters. So I'm really proud of my daughter doing these designs. They
I am
look
absolutely
amazing.
stoked. When I saw these cards, I could not have been more excited. So we did distribute.
Yeah, we did give some out.
Quite a few here this weekend.
Yep, but we are also going to give out a couple of sets of them here on this podcast. So if you'd like, we're going to give out five sets. So if you'd like, like a little set of cards that you could use when you're giving something to your knitter friends who will understand it, because most likely your husband or someone else won't, then just underneath this video, just leave us a little thing about whether you've been to Rhinebeck or not been to Rhinebeck, or whether you'd like to go, or, any kind of Rhinebeck experience that you've had.
And we are going to we'll do a random
comment
draw. Picker.
Yep.
And we will announce the winners on...
Let's leave it open for 2 weeks, maybe?
2 weeks. So we are at the 22nd.
Okay. So
the closest Tuesday to October 31st.
Yeah, let's say October or November 7th.
Okay. Yes.
So November 7th, we will, before that knit chat, we will draw 5 names, and we will get a set of these cards to you.
Yes, and they have envelopes as well.
They have envelopes, so they're all ready to send out to your friends. And
yes, that's really clever of you. I'm in awe of that. When she, like I said, when you showed them to me, and Jacqueline did such an amazing job.
Knitters.
So
I mean, as a knitter, I would send that to another knitter friend.
Hands down, hands down. So thank you both for doing those for us.
So yeah, so
just our way of showing a little appreciation to those of you who've put up with us, and hopefully you'll stick around and
take the time to watch us and participate
and leave us lovely comments.
And leave us comments. And I know with some of the ones, if we're giving away something, we don't necessarily always have the time to get back to each and every comment. But anytime you've got any sort of a question, just email us, and we will always address it on the next following knit chat.
Yes, absolutely.
So, okay. So that was the end of day one. Okay. So day 2.
Day 2.
So when we got up on day 2, the weather was significantly improved.
There was even sunshine.
It was sunshine. It wasn't raining. It was still cool, but that's okay. We're knitters. We're okay with cool.
We dress in layers. We are good for the weather.
Yeah. So for me today, this is what we wore today. So we found that we were quite comfortable in this. We had
you wore pajama pants?
No, I had pajama bottoms on. I did not wear the pajama bottoms, but I could have if I wanted to. No one would have cared.
Totally
no one would have cared.
Totally could have.
Anyway, no, I did not. So we were dressed appropriately for the weather. And we hadn't done the 3 big buildings when you go in. We had kind of left them because we know they're notoriously busy on the first day. So we thought we'll just leave those and we'll do them.
We backwarded our way through the festival,
Yes.
really.
Yes. So we spent the first part of the morning going through those. And one of the buildings in those 3 main blocks is the book building. So we had talked to Claudia from Unit Toronto, and we had, I know that I had emailed her shop and said that we were going to be there and hoped that we had a chance to go and talk to her. And we ran into Claudia and she agreed to do a little interview with us too.
Very kind.
Claudia
Very
was
kind.
there promoting her new children's book called Making Stories, and she had all the samples there as well of all the sweaters knit up. So we'll put in a little interview here that we had with Claudia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are here in the book area, and we're with Claudia from Unit Toronto. Hi, Claudia. Is this your first time at Rhinebeck?
Yes, it is. I'm very excited, and thanks for coming and visiting me.
Oh, you're welcome. And we're here. You've got your new book that's just out, right? Making Memories.
Yes.
Now, is this all children's books that are children's patterns that are in here, or are there some adults?
No, they're just children, but I make all of them into adults now.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
not all of them, but at least 6 of them they're into adult now. Like this one, the one I'm wearing, Cathedral, I have it for adult and I have it for children.
Okay.
This one is probably one of the newest ones, then I have it for adult.
It's beautiful.
Thanks.
So, now where do you get all your inspiration from when you design patterns?
You know what, in the beginning, a lot of my inspiration came from another need, like older books, seeing people in magazines, but now I have changed a lot. Now I think I get more of my inspiration from fashion, and from paintings, from art galleries, from buildings. But when I start to knit, I was like more like seeing how things were, you know, like they have changed a lot in the last 10 years. Actually, that's a very good question.
Okay, and you come out with patterns all the time. I know you just have a beautiful new pattern for a dress that just came out.
Yes.
So what was the name of that one?
I forgot the name. It's called Meridian, I think. But that dress, I have a very interesting history.
Okay.
Because you know what was actually a sweater, but I did it in a super wash, and the sleeves that were so long that couldn't make it into a sweater, so I operated on it.
Okay.
I cutted it, and then I shorted it up, and then I put it in my daughter, and I said, oh, this looks really nice, like a dress. And then I just re-knitted it in some yard and was more bouncy.
Yes.
I used hairspin, daylight, and ended up being a dress.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it was a casualty.
yeah. Well, it's definitely on my list because it's gorgeous.
Thank
and
you.
I think it looks, in some of your photos, it looks amazing just with a pair of tights and a little pair of boots, and it'll be perfect for going into fall and winter.
Yeah, it is. It's really warm because I was in Oslo and it was really cold in there, and I didn't brought any jacket, and I just wear that, and it was my coat.
So is your sample didn't have the mohair in it? The hair still with the
My
mohair?
example is the one with the mohair.
Yeah.
The one in the picture on Ravelry doesn't have the mohair.
Okay. Okay. So,
That's the one we operate on.
okay. Okay.
My example doesn't look as nice as the one in the photo.
Okay. Well, it looks beautiful.
Because it's on me. But I wear mine with a little scare with the pleats. Look really nice.
Okay. Well, it looks like you could even do it as a tunic too, right? Wear it with leggings.
It is,
or
it is like a tunic for me because for me it's too short.
Yes. Yes. And you have a store in Toronto.
Yes, I have a store in Toronto.
And how long has the store been there?
12 years.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Well, I haven't been there yet, but I definitely plan on coming.
You should all come together. You are totally welcome to come.
Okay.
I make you a knitting night.
Oh, that would be perfect. That
I
would be
make you a
great.
knitting night, and I make a special pattern for all of you to come and knit it with us.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
Right.
very exciting.
Okay. Well, wish you all luck today. Thank you so much for taking
Thanks
the
for all
time
you.
to talk to us.
Thanks to do my knitting. Thanks
Well,
for
your
liking
patterns are
it.
great. I just finished this Florentia and I love it.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you very
looking
much.
forward to the dress.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks to all of you.
Okay.
For
We'll
being
see you
so
soon.
nice to me.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you.
I hold on a word.
Okay, so Claudia was very gracious in letting us have the time to speak with her because she was actually manning her booth at that point.
She was very busy too.
She was very busy. So,
so we appreciate that.
Yeah, she was super nice. And, like she's invited us to come to the store in Toronto, and she said she'd even at one point do a knit night for us. And so we'll definitely be in contact with her and look for some future
will for
things.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to be able to talk to the designers and get an idea of the concept that they have going on in their heads behind their projects. So
Yep. And she has got a prolific amount of patterns out, and she seems to be constantly producing them.
Including that new sweater dress.
Yes.
We
which
love
is gorgeous.
that sweater dress.
Yes. Meridian?
The Meridian.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay. So after we talked to Claudia, because at that point I don't think we'd bought anything yet.
No.
So we did go through. There was a lot of beautiful booths. And
I did. I bought.
you
bought
did.
this.
Okay.
Oh, more soap.
Okay.
My husband is going to smell amazing after Rhinebeck. Yes. So this is from Englishman Bay, Handmade, and this is a felted soap bar, and we haven't had this in our house yet. This one is called Beach Bum, and all of their soaps are handmade, and then they hand felt them. And I think the idea of having like that little bit of a scrubby with the wool, and I don't know, is this something I can do after? I don't know what's involved.
I don't know.
With hand felting soap, but anyway, I thought my husband might really enjoy this, and that's really his only issue. He kept saying to me, do they have handmade soap there? Will you be buying me some soap? But this one smells great. Beach Bum. It smells really fresh and nice.
Nice.
It's very nice.
Yep.
And they had, I will put this quick little video in. It's just a short video, but they were also making these most amazing little handmade felted sheep.
Okay.
And there were sheep on rockers, and there were standing sheep, and there were colored sheep and trendy sheep and scarved sheep. And they were so absolutely adorable. And they were selling the sheep already made, or you could buy a kit for any one of the sheeps that they had there. And they're just adorable. So I will put this tiny little clip in there so that you can enjoy the sheep.
Okay. And then as we were kind of walking around those booths too, I know that you did some footage of the gentleman that was spinning.
Yes.
He was spinning on, it wasn't a drop spindle. It wasn't a supported spindle. He was kind of turning some sort of a crank, and it was spinning on.
It looked like a ball winder, like the sideways ball winder.
Yes. And he was kind of like long draw out like this, and then he'd let it kind of curl up onto the
tiny little spool.
Bobbin. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bobbin.
So bobbin.
Sorry, yes.
So it was amazing. Like I thought,
that's a long way to a skein of yarn.
It is, but it's fascinating to watch.
It was.
Yeah.
You can stand there and watch it all day.
Yeah. So you've got a little video of that.
Yes.
So, and then we had to get down to, okay, well, we haven't bought anything yet.
We haven't bought anything.
But first we went to watch the leaping llamas.
We went to watch the leaping llamas. So a couple of ladies that we've met here in the hotel, we met them on the way in actually, and we keep running into them and having, a chat about the day's events. They've been here lots, and they were telling us about the leaping llamas.
Yes.
And we ran into them right before the leaping. So we said, well, we're going to go see the leaping llamas today. And then as luck would have it, when we came out of the building where the books were, they were there.
Yeah.
So we were chatting with them, and they were getting ready to head to the leaping llamas. So we went, and we saw llamas leaping. And the crowd went wild.
Yes, they did. But before that, we took a picture with them, and we got up to get a picture with them, and then realized that Nora God was sitting right behind them.
Sitting beside them. And it was the funniest thing.
We went to stand in front of them.
Yes, to take a picture. And when I turned around and I saw that it was Nora sitting on the bench, and I went, oh my gosh, because Jenny was going to be kind to take the picture.
Yep.
And I said, we can't block Nora gone. That would be like standing in front of the Queen, for heaven's sake. So anyway, Nora was very gracious and agreed to stand up and hop into the photo with us.
So she was in the picture with us.
I will pop that photo in here too.
Of course, then we were all starstruck after that. And that was
we just met the Queen.
I think, yeah. And then we went to see the llamas.
And then we went to see the llamas.
Yeah.
Laughing all the way.
So then after the llamas, by this time it was after lunch, and we thought, okay, we knew that we had wanted to go back to Green Mountain Spinnery. We had been at Green Mountain Spinnery the day before, but it was quite crowded, and we thought, well, we're going to go home, we're going to look at some patterns and see what we think. Of course, we didn't do that, but we wanted to go back to the booth. So, yes. And it was really nice in their booth because they actually did have a lot of samples made up, and for the samples, they had little cards that had a picture of the project. It had the yarn requirements, the colors. Yes. So I ended up getting, I've got to reach over and get it here, but I ended up getting the yarn to do this sweater, which is called the Squam Sweater. It's a pattern by Elizabeth Doherty.
And it's just come out, or it's just either just coming out on the 28th.
Yep.
And,
so, yes. So the yarn, the main color, or the yarn that this was done in is, I'll grab these colors here.
Gorgeous colors. And this yarn feels amazing.
It does. This is their, let me see, the name of the yarn is their Simply Fine Skinnies. So this is fingering weight. It is 40% kid mohair and 60% fine wool. There's 224 yards in a 50-gram skein. So it's a fingering weight yarn. So for this sweater, there is one main color and 3 contrast colors. So my main color is going to be this natural dark, which is like a natural dark gray. And then my 3 contrast colors are going to be this golden hour, this
chili pepper,
desert.
Oh, desert, right.
Desert,
right.
This desert. And then this blue is called deep sleep. So I think together,
which is what we plan to do this week.
Soon. Okay. So those together, I think, will look amazing.
Yes,
in that sweater.
I agree. I totally agree.
That was my purchase from Green Mountain Spinnery.
And I got a sweater quantity of the Desert Bloom. This was the color in the booth when we went in there yesterday. This is the one that stood out to me. And I also like that sweater pattern, but the color that I wanted for the base wasn't available. So then I looked at another one. It was a different base. And then finally I said, you know what? I'm trying to force myself into something. I should go with what most spoke to me. And this is the color that most spoke to me. And I think what this is going to be when it grows up into a knitted sweater is the Thea Coldman.
Something lemonade. Blueberry
lemonade light.
Okay.
Light. I know it's the light version because this is a fingering weight. And it's a gorgeous sweater with lovely raglan details and this very nice side detail with a tiny split at the bottom of the hem. And when we were in Kawartha at the festival this year, our friend Rebecca had that sweater, and I was just in awe of how beautiful it was. And I thought, you know, this would do well for that. So we'll see.
Yeah, but they had lots of beautiful yarns and beautiful colors in there. And their yarn, like I think Green Mountain Spinnery is kind of known for more rustic-y type yarns, but they are all beautifully soft.
But they look rustic-y, but they don't feel rustic-y. I think that's the trick. And again, Green Mountain Spinnery is a yarn company that I've wanted to have that yarn for a while now. But again, not everything is available to us at our festivals in Canada. So it was really nice to get here to see something different.
Yep.
So, and then, so that was pretty much it.
That was pretty much it.
So Rhinebeck, we had a little bit of time to knit outside today,
which was nice. It was fun to just
really
sit and
nice
knit and watch everybody walk by.
And the best part about Rhinebeck, as soon as you sit down to knit, you're going to make friends with the person you're sitting next to.
Yep.
Because everybody's doing the same thing, and everybody wants to talk, and they want to, oh, what are you wearing? Who's the pattern by? And oh, what are you knitting on right now? And things like that. So you could totally go to Rhinebeck completely by yourself and have the best day ever.
That's right.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so the last knitty place that we went was Jill Draper.
Draper Studios.
Yeah. So she has a little event that's just outside of Rhinebeck, and it's kind of outside in a park under
a pavilion.
Yep, under a pavilion, and right by the river.
Yes. I think Jenny was telling us that she used to have this event in her dye studio, and then the event sort of outgrew the dye studio. It got too crowded and congested. And so she was not a dyer that I knew about before today. And we know about her now.
Yeah. Well, I had heard of her, but I just hadn't seen her yarn before.
Yes, and not seen the yarn. Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right. So you bought
I bought, so this is Jill Draper Makes Stuff. This base is called Mohunk Light, and this base is 100% lamb's wool, and it is 4 ounces or 113 grams, and there's 550 yards in here. So this color is called Creeping Myrtle Flowers, and it's not pink, it's kind of a lavender.
It is lavender. I'll give you that.
It's a lavender color, and I think I'm probably going to do something, but I will top off like some of the ribs or around the neckband with maybe a dark gray mohair. And I think that'll look really, really nice. So I know with 2 skeins with 550 yards each, I'll have lots to do the sweater.
And I got, well, in this lovely tote bag that she had too, which says make something. And I just really like this bag.
That's pretty.
I will totally use this bag. It's a beautiful canvas. And I got a sweater quantity in this colorway. So this is her brand new base, and it is called Penumbra, and this is the colorway Jupiter. So this one is 92% Dorset wool and 8% Rambouillet, and it's just,
I know, they're so soft.
luscious,
Yep.
so luscious. And I love this color green.
Yep.
So
yeah, looking forward to knitting with it. So, and it was nice to see all those yarns, and it was a beautiful spot.
we took a photo. So as most of you know, it actually, where the park was, it was down the river from the actual Rhinebeck Bridge. So this is the bridge that we have to cross to get from Kingston, which is where we are now, into Rhinebeck.
Yep.
And it's a long span, the bridge. It's quite long, and it's on quite a wide river. It's beautiful. And I thought it was sort of reminiscent. They have a beautiful park down there, and it sort of looked to me like the park that we knit under on Saturday mornings. So I did have Jenny indulge us in taking a photo of us knitting under that bridge.
Yeah.
So those of you who know about our bridge, I'm going to pop that picture in here as well. And it was just fun to knit under a different bridge.
It was.
Knitters,
Yep.
different bridge.
Yep. So different country.
Different country.
On the opposite side of the country.
That's right. We were on the U.S. side
Yeah, we
instead
were on
of
the
being
US
on the
side
Canadian
instead of on the
side,
Canadian
looking
side,
at the
so.
U.S. side. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all in all,
We've had an amazing time.
we've had an amazing time.
Yep. So again, we want to thank everybody. Well, thanks to all the vendors and all the people that make the whole festival possible.
Yes.
And
So
I know
much
that
work
even
goes
for the
into
whole,
this.
the whole towns, like there's a lot of work done by the town itself, like traffic and
And I'm positive that, the entire town suffers so many inconveniences during Rhinebeck weekend. We didn't meet a grumpy person in our entire time here. Everybody has been absolutely
and all
gracious.
the restaurants have been wonderful. The food's been great. It's been, well, I think we're already probably talking about coming back next
We
year.
are.
So
We are.
so
And it's so funny because when we talked about coming here originally, I remember specifically, I said, this could be a one and done for me.
I said it wasn't. So
I tend to get a little people-y, and I'm thinking maybe it would be overwhelming. There might be too many people, but I loved being at the fairgrounds. I never felt too crowded there. There was always an escape route out of the buildings and lovely places to sit. And it was the best time. It's been amazing meeting so many people. It's been just amazing sharing with such a wonderful group of people, like-minded people, where everybody is here showing off what they can make with their hands.
Yeah.
And we also want to say a special thank you to Jenny.
yes,
She won't like us to say this, but she has been
she made the
short
weekend
of gracious.
possible for us.
She absolutely did.
you
From
know,
picking
made-
us up at the airport, she has been tirelessly driving us around, and she's been very
making sure
helpful.
we get to what we want to go see and making sure that we didn't miss anything. And, for us, like we probably wouldn't have known about everything that was going on if it wasn't for her. So we really are thankful and grateful for her for doing that for us.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. So
okay. So we hope you all get a chance to go to Rhinebeck sometime if that's your wish. And who knows, maybe we'll see you there next year.
for sure.
Okay. Happy knitting.
Happy knitting.
Okay, so we've had an amazing day here today. We had a great day here yesterday. It was a little rainy yesterday, but that didn't dampen anybody's spirit or mood. And now we're heading out, and pretty sure this isn't going to be our last time.
No, I think we'll be back, and we want to say a special thank you to everybody that came up and said hello to us. You made our weekend, and
Yeah.
see you all on Tuesday.
Bye.